Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe. We're going to talk about for better or for worse. Some of you might be going through a discard and now the person's moved on to a new supply. Some of you are wondering what happened. You guys ended up getting married. My situations is they backed out right before the weddings. So it gets really confusing and we're kind of hurt over the narcissist actions. Like we feel we did something wrong, and to understand what the narcissist, for better or for worse, if you took those vows, why does the narcissist always choose worse? Because we had that little word or. So we have this for better and things are going good. The narcissist starts getting uneasy because they're uneasy when things are comfortable. There's no longer a challenge. A lot of times a marriage or a life event will be kind of like a finish line for them, a little check box to where they're like, okay, I did that, don't have to invest anymore. I did a video on bucket list. I think it's kind of an interesting way to relate to how the narcissist sees things. So the narcissist will choose their comfort level. They want for better. They want that. That's why they create that fake facade of the beautiful life. And they live in that kind of like an altered reality, or the manifestation. It's kind of like a trick you can do in your life, but that's like really hard to do. So that's almost what the narcissist is doing, is creating this fake facade. And it gets exhausting because to manifest something, you have to believe in the end, but that means you can't believe in the now. So it's hard to jump between the two. So the narcissist over time kind of gets exhausted with that, because you're living in an altered state of reality, and they just want to get to the end. So they let that go, because you have to live in reality. Otherwise you're going to be unsettled until the end, and the end could come the day you die. So the narcissist takes from us when they're in today's day instead of looking in the future, because they're uncomfortable. They don't have what they want. They wanted something that is unachievable. You can't have a perfect marriage. There's going to be one or two little oopsies that happen, or situations in life that kind of make things go awry. Maybe somebody gets sick. I had miscarriages, things like that, that can just throw things off, and you have to deal with them. The narcissist doesn't want to deal with any issues. So as they knock us down, or don't relate to us, or take the time to, they don't have to agree with us. We just want to be heard, because we're trying. If we're sad, let's say, we feel a little guilty that, we're kind of moping a little more than we feel they would want us to, because they want some time, and we feel a little guilty, like, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to process the miscarriage, and I'll spend some time with you soon, but I just need to go cry, or something like that, to where now they're hurt because they don't see what we're going through. And their need to sit and watch TV could be more important to them than me grieving the loss of a miscarriage. And so there's way differences in level. It's not me grieving we can't watch my sitcom over choosing to watch theirs. There's different levels of what's important, and they don't relate to that because they just want what they want. So things go worse, and they allow it to continue. We're trying to get out of that trap. We have reactive abuse sometimes where we're not acting as we would, and it just starts to snowball out of control, which makes it worse. And then once you get into enough of those cycles of abuse, reactive, there's baggage. And that's why they like to go on to a new supply, is there's no baggage. So in my situations, they were unable to communicate with me correctly. So you get the silent treatment, or ghosted, and then you try to explain things, and you apologize, and you call too much, which pushes them away. And that's when we need to bring them closer, because we feel like we're losing everything. And we just want the reassurance, like, no, we'll just talk. Let's give it a couple days. We'll talk. I love you, but let's just chill. But they don't do that. They don't do it in a healthy way. You know, when you feel like you're losing everything, you kind of hope for some reassurance, you know, and so the narcissist chooses to allow the snowball to get bigger. And they're always going to do that. So if, you know, with this new supply, this is what I'm going through right now. He's engaged, they're getting married. And it's kind of like, you know, the difference between, you know, is this person better, or like I keep saying, it's just a different person. The supply might be better because of all the outside factors, but the person, just like when you have a pet, you have 3 dogs throughout your life. You know, some of them you might connect with a little bit more, but you just have a love for them. You know, and the narcissist will kind of have an adoration for us as an object. Animals give us a little bit of love back. It's a very confusing dynamic. But the narcissist can enjoy person to person. It's not as big of a connection, maybe animal attraction, to where there's a depth that we feel with our animals. Some of you do have really deep connections with your animals, but you don't discuss things or, you know, problem solve together, which deepens your connections. So I know some of you love your pets like children, but for the basic point is the narcissist doesn't connect, and they always allow things to go worse because that's the state of their comfort. That's what they're used to. And to maintain that false sense of this altered reality will always become too exhausting for them. And it's like a defense mechanism for them, self-preservation, to take from us. And that's where the abuse comes in, is they knock us down because they'll have a jealousy of where we're at in our lives, and they want us on their level. We want them on our level. So it's like a not really a fight, but like a struggle to bring them up, and they want to bring us down. And there's really no balance, because sometimes we'll meet each other and then it's got to go back. And that's where that cycle comes in, is because of the way we communicate with each other, because our needs are different. We need love. They want love, but when they get love, it makes it worse. And that's the tricky part, is we're like, but we loved them and we did this for them. And when we start loving them, the more we love them, the more they see it as a weakness, or the more they see it as like they can exert power over us, to where now that they like the love that we give them, but they're not used to it. So they're not absorbing it. They're taking it, but it's like empty calories to them. They grab it and it doesn't fill their heart because they don't have that empathy. So they need to grab more. They get like an adrenaline rush off of it. So now they're addicted to taking more and more and more. And they see that the source is available, just like, I don't even know, don't do this, but if you had like a stockpile of cocaine, you would probably, don't do it, but you would probably do a lot more cocaine because it's right there, you know, as opposed to I got to ration this out until my next, I don't know, drug deal or whatever. Don't do it. But you can take advantage of things when they're available. And that's where the narcissist sees us as available sources of unending supply. So they indulge in it and they'll take as much as they can. And then they get used to it. So they don't ration it out. They don't appreciate it. They're not thankful for it. They're now entitled to it because they feel it's theirs. And, you know, moving on with the new supply, it's always going to be a cycle. It will always be a cycle with that narcissist, because living in that altered reality, it is really hard because you're going to have some doubts. Even if you do it and manifest anything, time's going to go by and you're like, what is going on? Like, this isn't happening, or I'm starting to get irritated. In a way, it's a good thought process to kind of, it's almost like believe in yourself. And it'll change your actions and your word patterns. But it's still exhausting, and it's still a hard thing to live in. And the narcissist doesn't want to change. The narcissist has already developed their speech patterns. And that's a lot of the part that's really, really hard for them to change, because they can't think every sentence through. They're just trying to communicate with us. But the way they communicate is hurtful. It is self-centered. They don't reflect on how, like when you talk to people, by this time in your life, it should be natural. You should be able to just express your feelings. And the narcissist just wants to do that too. Like, you irritate me. Just leave me alone. You irritate me. Like, we're husband and wife, and that's how you talk to me. But they're thinking, yeah, you irritate me. Go away. We'll talk later. I'll spend time with you Friday. What's the big deal? You irritate me right now. And then we get hurt. It takes away our comfort. And it's just off the cuff. They're just trying to communicate, like, you irritate me, you know, and they don't see what's wrong with it. And sometimes I'm trying to think, I had like a really good example to where it kind of blindsides you. I wish I could remember what it was, but it's just subtle words that they say, to where if you don't analyze them, you can brush it off. But man, I wish I could remember, because it's only in reflection that you can see what it is. I wish I could remember, but it's like they'll say something very subtle, and then you look back and you're like, was that like a kind thing to say, or what did they mean by that? And it starts twisting in your mind. And also like the false compliments, you know, it kind of either puts pressure on us. Let's say, I don't know, you're the most beautiful woman in the world. So now I better not wear sweats. Now I better not put my hair up in a ponytail and just, you know, messy bun or whatever. I got to maintain being the most beautiful I can be, because that's what's now expected, or how I'm viewed. It's all these little mind games that go on. They're creating this reality and expect us to live up to it. You know, let's say I wore sweats and a ponytail. It's like, oh, you know, you used to always look so good, or something like that. And it's like, you know, they don't look at the person, or they don't say it in a healthier way. You know, like, what, you know, are you depressed? You know, trying to connect with us, or they always choose to let things go south because that's what they're used to. And for better or for worse was supposed to be, life's going to give us better or worse, and we deal with it. It wasn't like pick one and have them pick worse. And then they just give up. That's the hard part, because if life does bring you for worse in a marriage, or even a commitment to you guys, that's what happened, and you stick through it. That's what the commitment was for. We all need some safety. We're in relationships to get back to the comfort of our childhood, where we had a safety net with, hopefully you guys had both parents. Most of you might not have, but that's your safety net in life, is having your needs provided for. A lot of us have had messed up childhoods, and that's why we can't figure out adulthood. But the reason for those commitments is going through life unsettled is horrible. It's nice having that comfort. You know, I'm single right now, self-sufficient, but it'd be nice to have that comfort of I'll take care of you, you take care of me, shared finances, through thick or thin, that you have somebody in life. And the narcissist just often will go on to a younger person. So their needs are met. It increases their status in society in their eyes. Like you're the lucky one, you got a young one. And they also know that that person can take care of them in old age, that they most likely won't have to take care of the younger. Usually they're not going to get through health issues at the same, you know, the same time because of the age difference. And it's all like subconscious, and sometimes it's premeditated. It's sad when the narcissist just does it for supply to where they don't even care. But some of them honestly do care in their own way. They care as much as they can. And there are ones who are just supply seekers. And then there are people who just don't know how to handle life because of what's gone on in their brain. So big hugs to you. Watch out for those red flags because narcissists will always choose worse, and they'll always suck your soul dry. And I'll see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe. One-on-ones are available, and have a good day.